evening, viewers, and welcome to today's edition of the news. First, a look at the headlines. Russia wants meeting on US biolabs in Ukraine. Government to provide full water connectivity in all the villages, says PHE Minister Renington Lingdo Tongkar. Government to chalk out new strategies to end traffic snarls in the state. And 18 trainees from Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya felicitated by the Department of Soil and Water Conservation. And now the news in detail. India has emphasized that humanitarian action in Ukraine should be guided by the principles of humanity and should not be politicized. Speaking at the United Nations Security Council meeting last night, India's permanent representative to the United Nations, T.S. Tirumurthy, reiterated New Delhi's previous call for an immediate cessation of hostilities in Ukraine. Meanwhile, Russia's permanent representative to the UN, Vasily Nebenzia, said that they will ask for an emergency meeting to discuss again the issue of US biolaboratories in Ukraine using the new documents that Russia obtained in the course of the special military operations. Russia had drafted a resolution and called for a humanitarian ceasefire in Ukraine to enable the safe evacuation of civilians. However, they halted the call for a vote on the resolution over lack of support. PHE Minister Renington Lingdo Tongkar informed that the government is on the job for full water connectivity in all the villages. He said that the PHE department is working to get water from reliable sources to give a supply to the villages in the state. In the state, more than 1,200 villages were provided with water supply in the past few years.
The department, the contractors with the VWST, they are still struggling to get water from the reliable sources to their villages. Whereas they are facing also some problem here and there. So I agree that there's nothing easy, so easy to get water to villages, but the department is still working hard. And we have almost 1,200 villages plus, more than 1,200 villages for which we have given water 100% to the household.
Minister in charge, Department Dasakhait Lamare, said that the department would soon meet Chief Minister Conrad Sangma to discuss institutionalizing the odd-even rule to solve traffic issues in the city. The government has already initiated some steps to ease the traffic congestion in the city, like shifting offices from the city to the new Shillong area. He added that the government is working on various strategies that can be implemented to reduce traffic snarls. The state government had implemented the odd-even rule in the city to ease the traffic and for crowd control during the second and the third wave of COVID pandemic.
If we could move mostly the offices to to New Shillong, to be specific about it, it will ease it. Yes, we'll be holding meetings again. I think after our session, maybe next week by Monday or Tuesday with the Honourable Chief Minister to review it. And if at all it's feasible, then we have no choice but to implement it again, just to control the traffic. We haven't finalized anything, but we are still working on various strategies that we could implement. But as of now, there's nothing as such which is finalized in the long term.
18 trainees of the 48th batch of Field Assistant of the Conservation Training Institute, Bernihat, were felicitated by the Department of Soil and Water Conservation in the passing out ceremony at CTI Auditorium in Bernihat. Out of the 18 trainees enrolled during the session 2021-22, 15 of them are from Soil Conservation Department, Assam, 2 of them are from Arunachal Pradesh, and 1 trainee is from Soil and Water Conservation Division, Resu Belpara. Dr. Joram Beda, Secretary Soil and Water Conservation Meghalaya, was present along with I. Rinja, Director, Soil and Water Conservation, besides other officers of the department. Speaking on the occasion, Dr. Joram Beda said that passing out trainees are an asset to the department and the state and urged them to share and exercise their knowledge of conservation to raise the level of concern of the environment.
To ensure that you had a very comprehensive training program, and I must say that the essence of such a residential training is not just to give you technical knowledge, this is also to forge a lifelong relationship amongst you as officers. And especially in the current context of the northeastern region, this association that you have forged during this 11 years of training will go a pretty long way in, helping your professional career and as well as unifying the Northeast.
The National Institution for Empowerment of Persons with Multiple Disabilities, the Department of Empowerment of PWDs and Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, in collaboration with the Composite Regional Centre for Skill Development, Rehabilitation and Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities, Meghalaya, organised a one-day distribution of teaching learning material TLM kits to persons with intellectual disability and multiple disability at Sajer, Nongpo. The motive behind the distribution was to assist the PWDs in procuring durable, sophisticated and scientifically manufactured modern standard aids and appliances to promote physical, social, psychological rehabilitation. More than 90 beneficiaries from Ribhoi district have registered themselves for TLM kits in the camp. A prayer meeting of all churches in Shillong was organised at the All Saints Cathedral Diocese of Northeast India, Shillong, to bring peace in Ukraine and Russia. Speaking at the prayer meeting, Reverend Archbishop Victory Lingdo said, "We all need peace every day. When there is peace, we have happiness." A special prayer was offered for children who have been killed and faced suffering during the Ukraine and Russia war.
Our region, we need peace. This morning we pray that as we have between these two countries, between Russia,
there is joy, happiness. Therefore, we ask the Lord, He is the master of peace. He will bring peace, especially in Russia and Ukraine. That's what we are praying today. And let us continue to pray. The Lord said, ask will be given, ask with faith we granted to you. I hope our prayer today will be benefit and transform, especially the leaders of Russia and also the leaders of Ukraine, and also we pray for those who are suffering. So many children have been killed, women, men, so many hospitals.
Holi, also known as the Festival of Colours, is being celebrated throughout the country today. The festival signifies the victory of good over evil and marks the onset of the spring season. Meghalaya witnessed celebration across districts. The Indian Council for Cultural Relations, in collaboration with Rilbong Sports Club and Gitanjali Academy, organised Holi celebration at Rilbong Ground, in which traditional dance forms of Manipur, Pung Cholom and Dhol Cholom was performed, and other celebrations included Basanta Utsav programs at RR Colony and celebrations by CRPF. President Ramnath Kovind and Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have greeted the people on the occasion. And now here is the weather report. The maximum temperature recorded was 25.5 degrees Celsius, while the minimum temperature was 14.0 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity in the morning was 49%, while in the evening it stood at 50%. No rainfall was recorded. The forecast: weather is most likely to remain dry. Our news bulletin is also available live on our YouTube channel. In addition to watching on television, viewers may visit the DD News Shillong YouTube channel to tune in to our daily bulletin. And before we conclude, a look at the headlines once again. Russia wants a meeting on US biolabs in government to provide full water connectivity to all the villages, says PHE Minister Renington Lingdo Thongkha. Government to chalk out new strategies to end traffic snarls in the state. And 18 trainees from Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya felicitated by the Department of Soil and Water Conservation. And that's a wrap of today's edition of the news. Thank you very much for joining us. And from all of us here, it's wishing you good night.